The next big question that we get a lot is there's two components to this. The first is many of the libertarians here, we want to see firings. We want to see in the bureaucracy corrupt
I agree.
individuals, the bloat. On top of that, without getting into the specifics for obvious reasons, the things that they're doing to you with the court system is not just to you. It is to me. It is to everyone who voted for you in 2020.
It's true.
Are we going to get some good personnel in as Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, and in the CIA,
right,
and see some prosecutions?
Damn, Tim was ready and prepared. Great question so far. Wow. This is not your typical, your little economy and all that kind of stuff. This was detailed, but not too detailed. Wonderful question.
So we had some great people because our trade numbers were fantastic. The jobs we did on trade, the jobs we did, frankly, in the military underneath the terrible television generals who were absolutely terrible. We have incredible people. We defeated ISIS, and we had no new wars because they were concerned with us. I had no wars at all. I finished off a war that we were in for 20 years, but we had no wars. And we have to get the right people. It's all about the people. So when I first came here, I was only in Washington 17 times in my life. All of a sudden, I'm president. And I really knew nobody. I relied on people.
True.
Some were good, some were rhinos, some gave us some bad advice. And generally speaking, we had very good people. But we had some that we have to do better. Attorney General, we have to get a great Attorney General. And I'd work with the Libertarian Party on that. I think it's very good because, I view the Libertarian...
I forgot, it was right before he went on stage. So that's why he was talking about libertarians. Do you see that? He said, I'll work with the Libertarian Party. And these asshats booed him? Oh, my goodness.
The party is almost a party of common sense, largely of common sense.
The right-wing part of the party. The left-wing part of the party, they on some other stuff.
And I say that about the Republican Party, too. We're a party of common sense. You want borders, but you want fairness. You want a lot of things that a lot of other people don't talk about. So we will work with a lot of people to get the right people in. The difference is I now know sort of everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not having to be relying on people that I didn't know very well and listen to their recommendations. And I think we're going to have phenomenal people. I know the people. I know the good ones, the bad ones, the weak ones, the strong ones. I think we're going to have great people.
We're friends.
He still has Susie Wiles there. He has a lot of bad people around him still, but good answer.
With Kash Patel. He was on the show just before you, and that gives me a lot of confidence.
Yeah. Kash is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's an example of a good one.
Yep.
We have some great people, but Kash was a great example. Devin Nunes, as you know, he's fantastic.
Absolutely.
We have so many great people.
So when it came to foreign policy, I'll be honest, I didn't vote for you in 2016. I was jaded. Obama let me down. I'm from Chicago. I thought 2016 was silly. And then in 2020, with the timeline for getting out of Afghanistan,
right,
when you tried to get our troops out of Syria, my question is, why are we in Syria? Who even knew?
Yeah.
And they lied to you when you tried to get our troops out of Syria. And they lied to you when you tried to get our troops out of Syria. And they lied to you.
I don't really think you need to be a partisan Republican or a Trump supporter to be bothered by the fact that people whose job it is to carry out policy were making it and lying about it. Why should we care?
Two main issues here. There's the principle of civilian leadership and then the policy of staying in Syria. I'm not a supporter of President Trump. I never have been, but I respect the fact that he was elected. Nobody elected James Jeffrey or any other unelected bureaucrat. And if we believe in the minimal standards of democracy, we'll respect that chain of command. Then you have the policy itself. Why does James Jeffrey want to lie to the president and keep U.S. troops occupying Syria? It has nothing to do with helping out the Kurds. The U.S. has abandoned the Kurds for a very long time, going back many administrations.
Good point.
He doesn't care about the Kurds. The policy is, as James Jeffrey himself said earlier this year, he said, my job is to create a quagmire for the Russians. Why would we want to keep U.S. troops, put them in harm's way, steal another country's oil, cut off Syria from its own people, just so we can create a quagmire for another nuclear-armed power? We tried that in Afghanistan. That led to the rise of al-Qaeda. And similarly, in Syria, the proxy war that we've been involved in for over a decade has also created the rise of al-Qaeda. James Jeffrey's predecessor, Brett McGurk, said that in Idlib, al-Qaeda now has its largest safe haven since 9/11. That's a result of the proxy war that we've been engaged in going back to the Obama administration under the incoming president, Joe Biden. So President Trump has an opportunity here. He's leaving in a couple of months. He was elected on an anti-war platform back in 2016. Right. Millions of people voted for that. He criticized these wars. He could end them now. He could pull U.S. troops out of Syria, tell James Jeffrey and John Brennan and Joe Biden that it's not our job to be occupying other countries. It's our job to bring our troops home and give Syria back to Syria.
And they lied to us about the number of troops.
And his daughter cried, and okay, let's not get into that.
In there. And so maybe it's a bit blunt for me to say I want to see people prosecuted for the lies of the American people. But in terms of foreign policy, perhaps it's a little bit of a biased interview, but I think you're the greatest president of my lifetime.
I appreciate it.
And ending the wars that we should not have been involved in. Now the fear is World War III.
Yeah.
What are you looking at when you enter your next term to stopping the escalation?
The reference here, I forget, giving context in case you don't know.
House. Trump's 33-year-old son Eric also told the Daily Telegraph on Monday that the strike in Syria was influenced in part by Ivanka, who he said was heartbroken and outraged by the chemical attack. Ivanka is a mother of 3 kids and she has influence. I'm sure she said, listen, this is horrible stuff. My father will act in times like that.
Ivanka cried allegedly after seeing images of Syrian children suffering from a chemical attack in April of 2017. This incident is said to have influenced President Donald Trump's decision to launch airstrikes against Syria. That was the what is Aleppo? I think that was around the what is Aleppo moment. That was, well, Syria stuff was going on before that April. That's obviously after Trump was in office. So that's kind of the awkward part of it, but let's get to Trump's answer here. But you notice they don't have the same tears for Palestinians, though.
Well, first of all, I'm the only one that is going to stop World War III.
Allegedly.
Because this man can't put 2 sentences together. He doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know where he is. And amazingly, it seems like he's going to be running. You know, it's a lot of people say, do you think he'll make it to the starting gate? Well, we'll see what happens. But if you look at Viktor Orban, because we don't want to see wars. I don't want to see wars. I was in no wars other than we finished a war with ISIS and we completed it, 100% complete. But I don't want to see wars. I think it's so horrible, so unnecessary, so costly in terms of lives and money in that order, and destroying these countries. You know, you're destroying culture. When you look at Ukraine, that would have never happened if I were president. You look at the October 7th attack on Israel, it would have never happened.
I'm starting to put these videos, chopping them up, putting them in playlists. If you want more of this content, like, comment, subscribe, put notifications on. YouTube will feed it to more people, and I will give you more information. I'll give you more videos. If it doesn't, then we'll end it right here. But I appreciate you giving a bro a chance either way.
Middle MAGA.